Assalamu alaikum everyone. So this is a very short Cliff Notes version of the 5 days of Hajj. I will not be talking about all of the different schools of thoughts. I will not be talking about some people do this or some people do that. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to go into like too much detail. I'm just going to give like a general Hajj overview and resources that you can use because there are scholars out there who are very mashallah well versed on Hajj and the fiqh of Hajj and the steps of Hajj and all of that. So this is basically me sharing the resources that I am using, inshallah, or I plan to be using for this upcoming time that I want to reflect and get to know what Hajj is all about. The resources I will be using. So my first resource is Dr. Farhan Abdul Azeez. He has an amazing 6.5 hour series of his series, which is called Sweetness of Hajj. I will be linking that below, and it's a series of YouTube videos, one after the other, of the steps for Sweetness of Hajj and the steps for Hajj and getting ready for it, what to do in each of the days and all of that. So I will be linking that below. He was kind enough to share his slides whenever he led this workshop. So he was kind enough to share his slides with us, with me and my husband, and we will be linking that below. So his videos and his slides are down below. So that is our number one resource for Hajj, inshallah. Another resource we have, this is a copy right here of some of his slides right here. So this is how it looks. We printed it in color, and then we also printed the booklet version, which is a smaller version. I will be linking that below. All right, and another resource that we will be using is, give me one second. Another resource we will be using is this Hajj and Umrah Made Easy. This is something that we plan to take with us. It should have a lot of du'as and steps and of what to do where and what's restricted, what's allowed, all of that regarding dress code and steps and all of that. So that is what we're taking with us. We purchased this from islamicbookstore.com, but we did this ahead of time, so I don't know if you have time at this moment to purchase this. If you do have time, go ahead and order it. I believe it came within 3 to 4 days. So if you do have time, go ahead and purchase it. It was about $17 or $18 from islamicbookstore.com, but otherwise it is sold on Amazon, and I believe they're running a sale on it, and it's about $26 at the moment. So it's a good resource to have. Again, we don't know when we get there regarding the guides and the religious guides, as Hajj has changed this year. So we don't know about if we have religious guides for us over there. And so that's that. And then, so those are the two main resources that we plan to use. And those are the two that, we plan to finish up our series that we're listening to, Sweetness of Hajj, and then also take this booklet with us. Another one is just something small that our agent had given us before, and this was has different du'as of what to say when you go to visit the Prophet, when you go for your farewell tawaf, when you are at Arafat, when you are during tawaf, what you say between Sa'i and Safa and Marwa. So all of those things, we have a little booklet here. So if you're able to find a short dua book for Hajj or Umrah, definitely take that with you. And that will come in handy. And I'm sure there's apps and things you can also download ahead of time that have all the duas at every step during Hajj. If you have any apps that are really helpful, please link them in the comments below. It will help somebody, inshallah, benefit, inshallah. And so if you can link it down below, that would be awesome. All right. In the comment section. All right, the next thing I wanted to go over really quickly is what are the actual days of Hajj. So the actual days of Hajj, I'm sure many of you know this, but this is kind of like a quick Cliff Notes version, is, and I'm using for Dr. Farhan's guide right here, is basically day one is, inshallah, the plan is, inshallah, to get to Mina on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. So on the day of Dhul Hijjah, we'll be going to Mina, inshallah. Then from Mina, the next day we will travel to Arafat. Arafat. The day of Arafat is known as the epitome of Hajj. There is no Hajj if you did not do Arafat. So between Dhuhr and Maghrib, that is the golden opportunity. This is the time you have basically this many hours to capture the essence and the importance of what Hajj is. This is the time that they say, please do not sleep at this time. Please do not overeat so that you're taking a nap at this time. It's very hot, yes. So be on your A game at this time. This is the time where you want to have your duas ready. You want to have Brother Wassam in one of the webinars that we attended. Brother Wassam Sharif shared that you should have an 8-hour playlist going where if you need to use it, then you have time to use it. If you don't, it's okay. You over prepared. So have a playlist of duas, of Quran, of a compilation on your phone that that when there's a lull and you're done your duas and you want to get into reading some Quran and some ibadah or making some duas or listening to some duas, highly recommend Omar Hisham. He is beautiful. His recitation is beautiful, so soothing. So make a Omar Hisham playlist and just of Quran, Surah Rahman, morning Adhkar, evening Adhkar, all of that, and get that compiled. Surah Mulk, all of that, and get that compiled. So have a playlist ready for the day of Arafah. Have your dua book ready. So take a journal. And Brother Wassam also shared in one of his webinars that you should have 30 pages of dua ready. I am not there yet, so I will be spending this week preparing my dua list, inshallah. So have 30 pages, he said, of duas for day of Arafah. This is the day that you want to make dua for each and everything in your life. If anyone has attended Muhammad al-Sharif's Dream Duas course, oh my goodness, this is the day where we need to beg, inshallah, Allah to forgive us, beg for our hereafter, beg for whatever it is that our heart desires in this world and the hereafter. So the dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar, should be on our tongues when we see the Kaaba for the first time, when we are on the day of Arafah. These are moments where we are so lucky to be going to basically marching towards towards Allah's home, where Allah's throne resides in heaven, and we're literally going towards that area. And so we're so lucky. Inshallah, we all make it there. Inshallah, we all get to go there. And so that's day 2. So day 2 of Hajj is the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, and that's at Arafat. So day 1, just to repeat, day 1 is we go to Mina. Day 2, Arafat, 9th day of Dhul Hijjah. After that, at nighttime, we'll be traveling to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah is basically, at this point, it might be an open air area where everybody is there. All of the Hujjaj are there, and we're all spending the night there. So 1 million of us, inshallah, will be there. So that might be a little bit of a challenging night. We don't have the tents and the mattresses and the facilities. So this is probably the night that we'll get the most tired, and by now we'll be exhausted. So then from Muzdalifah, you go back to Mina. And this is when the Jamarat and throwing the stones towards the Jamarat begins. So that day is the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, which is also, it'll be Eid for everyone else. But for us also, it's Eid, but we have a lot of stuff to do. So we'll be doing Jamarat, the sacrifice will be happening, hair will be getting cut, and we will be doing Tawaf al-Ifada and our sa'i on either this will happen on the 10th, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go for Tawaf al-Ifada on the other days as well. And so we will now be in Mina from 10th, 11th, and 12th. And if possibly, if anyone wants to, I don't know what our group will do, possibly on the 13th also. So there are 4 days that we'll be at Mina, 10th, 11th, 12th, and possibly 13th. In Muzdalifah, that night before that I talked about, that we're in the plain of Muzdalifah, and in Muzdalifah, we're supposed to be collecting pebbles. So the rocks that we're going to be throwing at the Jamarat. We're going to be collecting 7, 21, 21, 21. we're going to be collecting all of these pebbles for when we go to Mina and we have to throw it at the Jamarat. So take your Ziploc baggies with you. I shared it in my other videos what my plan is to take Ziploc bags. Some people take water bottles and they just fill up the water bottles. But yeah, so take whatever means you need to do that night before when we're at Muzdalifah, or possibly even, some people say even in Arafat, you can start collecting your pebbles, and then that's what we're going to be using for the next couple days when we're at Mina. And Mina is when we're staying at the tents. This is what's the discussion is, or the North American tents, or we're staying at the VIP tents, or whatever is happening. That's all in Mina. And so what's closer and all of that discussion, if you're privy to that information. And so that's when we'll be going to the Jamarat. We'll be doing our sacrifice. We'll be doing our haircut, getting out of ihram for the men. Haircut for the men, I apologize. And for women, it's just a little bit of hair, very small. It may be a little bit of hair that we have to cut, and our tawaf al-ifada. After that, after all these days, Hajj is over, inshallah. And so we will head towards our farewell tawaf, and that is the completion of Hajj, inshallah. So I hope that helps, and I hope that that little mini overview helps. And I'm sure our things might be different. We might not be staying the whole night in Muzdalifah, or we might, things might be different. We might not be staying in Mina the whole time. We might be going back and forth to our hotel. I'm not really sure. Every package might be different. Every team leader might do it differently. But I do know that there is access to your hotel, I believe, during the time that you're at Mina. So if your hotel in Mecca, that is. And so there may be chances where if you're not able to take a proper shower and you need to take a shower, hopefully you can get to your hotel in Mecca and take care of things. And so maybe that helps. And so with that, I would highly recommend these resources, Sweetness of Hajj by Dr. Farhan. And also, if you have time to order this booklet, I haven't fully gone through it all yet. This week, inshallah. As you all know, this is a very different Hajj, where for all of us, we might not be able to prepare fully, but at the end of the day, we are going to Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. We need to come with an open heart, whether we're fully prepared or not. We're going to try our very, very best, and Allah knows what we're going through, and so Allah is with us, inshallah. So stay strong, guys. This is the information that I wanted to share about the itinerary for Hajj and the short overview of the Hajj days. All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum. And if you're interested, please subscribe to our channel and join our family. We share other things. Right now, our family is very much dedicated to the journey of Hajj, but we share other adventures and travels that we go through with our family of 5. So please make a small dua for my family and keep us in your duas. And I hope we're able to help you, inshallah, through this very confusing and anxious time, inshallah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.